Welcome back to Talk Time Life Unscripted. If you're new here, my name is Ken, and this will always be a safe space where we dive into thought-provoking discussions, share lighthearted banter, and exchange real-life stories and have honest, relatable, and meaningful conversations. A recent study confirmed that 70% of jobs are found through networking, highlighting the importance of key relationships when recovering from a layoff. After having the up and down emotions after I was laid off, I now see that it was not all doom and gloom. And today I'll be discussing 5 things I learned after I was laid off. Before we dive into this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more Talk Time Life Unscripted. Now, let's break this down. Number 1, adaptability is key. It is important to step outside your comfort zone and adapt to new circumstances. After I was laid off, I realized that I had become very complacent in my job. Now was the time for me to embrace the change and focus on the positives and new opportunities. This, of course, is way easier said than done, but you don't know just how strong you are until you are faced with adversity. Number 2, networking and building relationships. I had not updated my resume for over 18 years, so this was one of the first actions that I took. And as soon as I updated my resume and my LinkedIn profile, I had old colleagues reaching out to me to wish me well, but also providing support and putting me in contact with some potential employers. People you least expect may offer advice, connections, or opportunities during these tough times. This was valuable as it kept me motivated and I started to become excited about what my next chapter looked like. Number 3, the value of reinvention. It took some time to get there, but I finally started to realize that this was the time for me to pursue something great. I could invest further into education or some certifications or even start my own business. I'll admit that a layoff can dig at your identity, but it can also reveal your true strengths, value, and your aspirations. Everyone kept asking me, "What are you going to do?" My response was always the same. I wanted to do something I enjoyed again, something that I was passionate about. I loved my job, but over the years it became very stressful and very unhealthy as I was working 10 to 12-hour days. So after I was laid off, I realized this was the time to change and buckle up for the next adventure. At this point, I had nothing to lose, and I knew that I could do anything I wanted with the right motivation. Number 4. Rejection is not personal. The loss of a job, especially if you've been with the company for a long time, can feel like a grieving process, and I had to allow myself to feel those emotions. I cried, I screamed. Once, well, maybe twice, I threw a few things against the wall, but in the end, it helped me to let go. So if you need to break something, feel free to do so, but I just recommend that you stay away from grandma's fine china. Quite often, layoffs are about business needs and not your performance, which was certainly the case for my situation as my job was basically outsourced. It had nothing to do with me, but it was a way for the company to pay someone far less than what I was making. It was important for me to not take it to heart. I kept reminding myself that there was nothing I did wrong. I worked hard and was very good at my job, so that had to stand for something. I had to get out of my headspace and realize this was happening at no fault of my own. Number 5, patience is a virtue. I will admit that this is something that I am not very good at. When I typically want something, I want it now, not later. But in this case, I had to accept that job searching takes time. And while the process may feel slow, it's important to remain persistent and patient. Sometimes you just need to give yourself permission to step back, take a break, and refocus before diving into the next job search. With that said, being laid off can be a challenging experience, but offers valuable lessons that we can use to shape our future career goals. Embracing adaptability allows you to navigate change with confidence while focusing on networking, building relationships, and opening doors for new opportunities. The value of reinvention and not taking things too personally teaches you that setbacks can become a springboard for personal and professional growth, encouraging you to explore new paths and redefine your career. By learning and applying these lessons, I was able to transform a difficult moment into a stepping stone for a brighter future. Thanks again for hanging with me today on Talk Time Life Unscripted. Until next time, be extraordinary and know that you have value. Please comment if this has been helpful, as my goal is for you to know that if you've recently been laid off, you are not alone. Now, check out my next video where I talk about a fresh start after I was laid off, and let's keep the conversation going. Ciao!